I often talk about the Black imagination in my work, and what I mean by that is that a lot of the images that people see in this country and around the world of Black people are based on not our own imaginations, but the way that other people imagine us, people who don't know us. And so there's always this idea about the way that we live or where we live, or that any images about us have to be about some sort of concrete reality, some kind of urban, some kind of gritty, almost documentary-like rendering of these lives that aren't even our own lives, but imagined by people who don't know us. And so I like to talk about the Black imagination because it's a way of sort of taking the images of Black people completely out of the context that they're normally seen, and totally reimagining who and where we can be, and not just that try and show things as they are in terms of a reality, but how we can imagine them, or in terms of possibility, and in so doing just to sort of undermine the assumptions that people have. And hopefully, you know, it's sort of a way to sort of show people that no one, regardless of who they are, is sort of locked into the perceptions of other people, that everybody has their own interior space, and that space is valuable.
Ever in the dress while carrying the gun, as I follow the drinking gourd till you are free. As I came back for your man, but him wouldn't go. As I met a new wife, him thought he met a tree. No man, oh no man, no man ever stood in the place of me. No man, no man, no man ever stood in the place of me. No man ever stood in the place of me. Oh, oh, Ever went to church in a dress and changed into a white robe? Ever been you and three other girls who didn't see Monday? Ever had to identify your son and couldn't recognize his face? Ever could do nothing but scream and cry and insane? Ever had to abandon logic just to lean on feel? Ever been promised the moon but never sat and dreamed? Ever been mad in a dress? Ever been a bitch or a hoe? Ever been a scarecrow, not able to think a thing? No man, oh no man, no man, no man, no man, no man ever stood
And that, like, if you think about space travel, like in physics, you guys probably have to take some physics, and you think about, like, the distance between the planet Earth and the moon is 28,000 miles. A lot of African American artists are obsessed with space travel, science fiction, speculating on the future. In a way, we are like speculating on the future because it's a way of looking at our collective past as a people who are sort of like removed from where we're from, like totally against our will, and sort of planted in places that we didn't know anything about, without any language, without any access to our history or culture, without any familial traditions or structures, and had to totally reinvent who we were wherever we landed. If you think about those kind of distances in space, that's a kind of like psychological or cultural distance that Africans experience by being transported to places without being able to bring with them their language or their history or their tradition. I think Hollywood's sort of really, really powerful, so it's sort of like I'm throwing a rock at a giant, and I don't really imagine that the films that I make can do anything to alter the way that Hollywood makes its images, but I do think it's important to have, like, to offer a different way of seeing not just black people, but everything. Everything in the world needs to be seen a little bit differently than how Hollywood shows it, you know? It would be great that if you could go see Harry Potter, you could also go, there would be one theater where you could see experimental films, yeah? And that those films could be available to everyone, like all over the country, just like Harry Potter, even if it's only for a month or something. And so that's why I make films.
That the only way I'm gonna get on TV is to make my own goddamn tapes and play them for myself.